Welcome to video number 2 on the 5 voting methods using a preference schedule. And in the first video I went over what a preference schedule was, and I'll just remind you this is Spider-Man, Elastigirl, and Iron Man, and these are the vote tallies for them. We'll be using this schedule for each of those methods. So first let's jump into the plurality method. So the plurality method was to count the number of first place votes for each person. So we'll take Spider-Man's first place votes. He got first place on these 3 ballots and on these 6 ballots, so he has 9 first place votes. Elastigirl has 8 on those ballots and 4 there, so she has 12 first place votes. And then Iron Man has 7 first place ballots there and 3 there, so he has 10. So pretty clear winner here. Now again, you don't need an absolute majority to win in the plurality method. You just need more than anybody else. So Elastigirl is our plurality winner. So she wins the plurality method. Now let's go to the instant runoff method, and now this is a little bit trickier. First, you have to go to who got last place using the plurality method, and just take a look at that. That was Spider-Man who got last place. So we're going to remove Spider-Man from that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those six sets. Spider-Man is gone from all those, as you can see, and then you move everybody up. Wherever Spider-Man is, you fill in those places where they'd have to move up, and so we get a ballot that would look like this. So this is our new ballot with removal of Spider-Man. It's kind of like if you disqualify the last place person, this is what would have been, or just remove them. Now, if you recount the first place votes, now you'd have to have a greater than 50% majority to get a winner. Well, there's only 2 people left, so there will be a probable winner here. So the first place votes the remaining candidates. So now we get Elastigirl has 3 there, 8 there, and 4 there, so she has 11 and 4 is 15. We already knew there was 31 ballots, remember that? And so 15 is less than half, so this will have to be 16. So it should be Iron Man. Let's just count them to emphasize what we do here. 6 ballots Iron Man got first there, then 7, and then 3, and so that's 16. So Iron Man is our instant runoff vote winner. The IRV winner is Iron Man. Okay. Next, we're going to look at the Condorcet winner. Now, the Condorcet winner has to win every single head-to-head race. Now, we know there's going to be a tricky one. Elastigirl won the whole plurality, but what would she do if she was just facing Iron Man or just facing Spider-Man? So, Elastigirl versus Iron Man, that is, basically we look at all of where Iron Man is ahead of Elastigirl, he'd get those, and where Elastigirl's ahead of Iron Man, she'd get those. So let's take Iron Man here and Elastigirl here. Here on these 3 ballots, Elastigirl is higher. On these 6 ballots, Iron Man's higher. On these 8 ballots, Elastigirl's higher. On these 4 ballots, Elastigirl is higher. On these 7 ballots, Iron Man is higher, and on those 3 ballots, Iron Man is higher. And you can see this gives us the same thing we got before. So we know that we already knew that Iron Man beat Elastigirl when we removed Spider-Man when we did the instant runoff method. So Iron Man beat Elastigirl head-to-head. Spider-Man was kind of the spoiler for him in the plurality method. That's why Elastigirl won. Now let's compare Elastigirl to Spider-Man. And so we just basically ignore the I's here. So let's do E and S. So Spider-Man won those 3. Spider-Man won those 6. Elastigirl won those 8. And those 4. And then Spider-Man won those 7, and Elastigirl won those 3. So that's 12 and 3 is 15, and that's 16. So Spider-Man, let's see, did I do that right? 3, 6, and 7. That's right. So Spider-Man beats Elastigirl there. Let's put an S there, and we'll put an I there. So Spider-Man beat Elastigirl head-to-head. So now Elastigirl didn't win either head-to-head, even though she won the plurality method. Now let's compare Spider-Man and Iron Man. So let's do S and I. So Spider-Man beats Iron Man on those 3, and on those 6 he beat him. And Spider-Man beat Iron Man on those 8. That means Iron Man beat Spider-Man here. That's 4, and here that's 7, and here that's 3 more. Wow, that's 9. That's 17, and that must be 14. And so Spider-Man beat both Elastigirl and Iron Man head-to-head. So now the Condorcet winner is Spider-Man. So it's interesting that in a preference schedule with different ways of looking at voting, you could get 3 different possible winners here. Let's look at the Borda count method. So the Borda count method values each position with a numerical value, and then you add up all those points. So, for example, Spider-Man, if we look at all the Spider-Man votes, here he had 3 first-place votes. Now, every first-place vote is worth 3 points. So those 3 first-place votes and those 6 first-place votes, that gave him 9 first-place votes, and those are 3 points each. Notice he got second-place votes here and here. 8 and 7 would be 15 second-place votes, so those were worth 2 points each. And then he got third on those 4 ballots and on those 3 ballots, so that's 7 ballots where he got only 1 point because he was last place. So that gives us 27, 30, and 7, which is 64. So he gets 64 points on the Borda count method. Elastigirl, well, let's check her out. So her first place votes were 8 and 4. She got 12 first place votes. We know because she won that method, the plurality method. 12 first place votes. She got second place on those 3 ballots and on those 3 ballots. So that would be 6 ballots that she got 2 points on. And then she got last place on those 2, so 6 and 7. So she got 13 last place votes. So that looks like 36, 12, and 13. That looks like 61 points on the Borda count method for Elastigirl. And now Iron Man finally. Let's look at Iron Man. Iron Man has 10 first place votes there. There's 3 points each. He got second place on 6 and 4. That's 10 second place votes, 10 times 2. And then third place, he got third on these 2 sets of ballots. So 3 ballots he got third and 8 ballots he got third. That's 11 ballots he got third place on. Well, that's 30 plus 20 plus 11. He got 61 points also. They did tie, but it doesn't matter because Spider-Man was the Borda count winner. So here again we have Spider-Man winning. He won the Condorcet method, and he won the Borda count method. Okay, last method is Copeland's method, which is a little like Condorcet. We already know that Spider-Man versus Elastigirl, Spider-Man beat her head-to-head. He beat everybody. So remember, he got 3 here, 6 here, and 7 here. So that was 16 votes for Spider-Man beating Elastigirl, and then she beat him on 8, 4, and 3. That would have been 15. So Elastigirl only got 15. So Spider-Man really gets 1 point for that because he won. Spider-Man versus Iron Man. We know he beat Iron Man too. Just a quick review of that. How did Spider-Man beat Iron Man? He beat him on 3 ballots there and 6. That's 9 ballots. And then again on those 8, so 3, 6, and 8 is 17. And then Iron Man beat Spider-Man on the 4, 7, and 3. Iron Man over Spider-Man, so that's 14. So Spider-Man got another point for beating Iron Man. Now Elastigirl versus Iron Man, I can't remember who won that, so let's go ahead and do that. That would be Elastigirl got, there's 3, and 8 is 11, and 4 is 15, and that's what she got there. And then Iron Man must be 16 because there's 31 ballots. And so Iron Man got 1 point there. But clearly Spider-Man got 2 points, right? Spider-Man got 2 points, Iron Man got 1 point, so the Copeland's method would be Spider-Man again. Maybe a reasonable way to elect somebody would be to maybe do different methods and say if there was a person who won more than any. But anyway, those are just 5 different methods. No one method is the best. They all fail to meet all the fairness criteria. But there you have it, quick and dirty.